We're sitting here outside the Kaingo office on our little deck on the river, Luangwa River behind Patrick here. There's some elephants moving around, so you might see them, some puku, some bushbuck. And Pat's going to get going.
Hello there. Greetings everyone. It's my pleasure actually to greet you all from the banks of the Luangwa River. As you can see behind me, it's the mighty Luangwa River. And this is brilliant, and we're just within the Kaingo vicinity. This is, Kaingo camp. It's really my pleasure to share a little bit of information about what is happening out here in the bush. And this is, the prime game laying time, September, October, when everything is just along the river. And we don't have to go further inland to look for it. Everything just comes along the river because this is the only place where they can find water. And so far we've been seeing a lot of stuff, and behind me it's a great crossing point, for the elephants. We've got the elephant hide not very far from camp, and the elephants are busy just using that crossing point. So every day we see elephants back and forth crossing, getting into the safer sector, coming on this side. So we do see a lot of wildlife just along this river. And just now we had 3 elephants just walking by. That's our popular Mama Eleanor, and with the other 2. So yeah, we've been seeing a lot of stuff. And if you talk of lions, we've had lots of lions around. Of course, we've got the 3 prides, the Kaingo Prides, the Kapanda Pride, and the Hollywood Pride. So we've been seeing all these prides, and the Kaingo Pride are very much along the river as well, just from here, Kaingo area. This morning we saw them quite close to the hippo hide, and maybe we think they might have a kill somewhere in the thickets. But they seem to be doing really well, and we think maybe one of the females or 2 females from that Kaingo Pride have got cubs, because when we saw them the other afternoon, one of them actually just went further inland and she looked like she's lactating. So if she's got cubs, that means the cubs are still very, very small. So she hasn't brought them to the pride yet. So, but the Kapanda Pride, we've seen the cubs in that pride. There's 2 cubs who are between 3.5 to 4 months old, and they look stunning, very healthy. The whole pride is really healthy. They're looking really well. And so we think maybe there might be other 2 or 3 females with cubs, but the cubs, again, maybe they're still small. They haven't introduced them to the rest of the pride yet. But yeah, all of them seem to be doing well. Then the Hollywood Pride, they're up there, and we think they also have cubs. And there's almost like 3 females lactating, but we haven't seen the cubs from that pride yet. But very soon we're hoping that we'll see the cubs. But the boys, we've got the 4 boys which have been known as nomads. I think very soon we'll start giving them good names, because they seem to be settling into the prides. They're no more nomads, they seem to be settling with the prides. So they've been busy breeding with the females. So these are the fathers of the cubs, coming out now. So we don't know for how long this coalition will last, but it's a coalition of 4 boys. And these 4 boys, because they feel very strong and they're spreading out, they're covering, all the prides, Kaingo Pride, Kapanda Pride, and the Hollywood Pride. So it has been very productive. It's very unfortunate that it's a very bad year this year because of the COVID, and it has been extremely quiet. And we've had here in Zambia, we've had the lockdown, and the lockdown has been a miserable thing. Like for me, I'm an outdoor person. Being locked inside, it was just really hectic and so frustrating. It was very depressing. So I'm so glad I'm actually out here again on the river banks of the Luangwa River, but it's never the same without you guys, the guests out there. It's never the same, but we're quite happy a little bit because we're back on the banks of the Luangwa River, and we've been seeing and following these pride of lions and leopards and elephants and you name it. So it's actually quite busy, in terms of wildlife. There's a lot of stuff to see, seeing a lot of wildebeest and other stuff. The wild dogs, beginning of the season, like June, July, was very good because we had quite good sightings of them. But at the moment, they seem to be back inland because this is the denning time. So we reckon they might be denning. So hopefully they might bring out the pups later, maybe towards the end of October. Maybe we might see them again. But this time we don't really see them because, again, the concentration of lions, cats in general, is quite high along the river. So they're trying to avoid the conflict between them and the cats. So they've decided to go further inland where they can do the denning safely. So they seem to be further inland. We don't see them very much. But the best time to see the dogs is June, July, when there's a lot of water inland and the lions are inland. So the dogs are actually quite free to roam around along the river. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to be back in the bush. It's really, really nice. But as I said earlier, without guests, it looks really strange and quite depressing. Yeah.
So you've got greetings from Andrew Danquet, from Alice Perrietti, and from Jude. So they all say hi.
Great, so nice to hear from you. Great, thanks so much.
And then just a quick roundup on our leopards.
Yeah. Leopards, we've got Chipazua, she's around, our queen of the area. And we've got Krita, the female leopard for Kaingo. I think, some of the guests, they might be, we've never seen Krita before. We've changed the name. This is the leopard we've been calling Mama Kaingo. Now she's called Krita. Then we've got another boy which uses Kaingo area. We call him Kudeka. Kudeka means relaxed. And Krita means, calling, because she calls a lot. And she's quite a territorial female for this area, so she calls a lot. Each time she's patrolling, she's calling. Hence the name Krita, because she calls a lot. Then we've got Tyson, but we haven't seen Mchenja Boy yet this season. So I don't know what happened to Mchenja Boy. Maybe he's gone somewhere. But the two were competing a little bit in terms of territories between Tyson and Mchenja Boy, because both of them almost the same size. So maybe they actually ended up in a conflict, and probably Tyson won. So Tyson has been overlapping. We've been seeing Tyson mating with the females around here, and it was around August when we had some guests in camp. We had Tyson mating with two females. So eventually, because they were doing it quite close to the boundary between Krita and Chipazua, so Chipazua could hear the growling and the noise which was going on. So she came in to investigate. So we ended up having 4 leopards and 3 females and 1 male. So, and Chipazua saw that, said, okay, no, I have to leave. So she left. She left the two girls mating with Tyson. So leopards is also very good, but at the moment we've got only the 2 females probably, which we see frequently, and Tyson, and then there's actually 1 young male. He comes and goes. I think he's scared of Tyson, but they're doing really well. The only thing is they're also trying to avoid the lions, because the lions are very much along the river right now. So the leopards are trying to avoid that conflict. So they're there, but they're trying to avoid the conflict between them and the lions.
I think we can let everyone know what we're doing with the filming going out.
Yeah.
So I'll just put in my 2 cents here that Patrick has been very patient in waiting for me to get up in the early mornings to go out with him. But yeah, I'll let Pat fill you in on what we're doing, and you should be seeing some footage from us soon.
Yeah, we've been going out almost every day, and this is a program for at least for a month. We'll be doing this, and we're halfway through it. We've been going out, just taking some footage for action, lions, elephants crossing, birds like the bee-eaters when they're nesting on the riverbanks is so spectacular. And the good lights, the game in general in a very good light. And yeah, so we've been quite busy. You know, we had a nice fishing party actually at Pelican Lagoon. It was brilliant seeing the pelicans, saddlebill storks, and marabous. You know, unfortunately we missed, you know, it was something quite spectacular for us to see, but unfortunately for the bird, one bird, you know, got taken by a crocodile while we were there, but we missed, you know, because it happened so fast. It was a crocodile taking an immature saddlebill stork. It was really sad to see, because all the birds congregated there to see, or maybe they were saying goodbye to their friend, but they were a bit shocked to see a crocodile going for the stork. So unfortunately the stork got taken, but it was amazing because the light was brilliant and it was just full of birds. It was so alive. So look out for that. We've been doing quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to be trying to do these Cheza chats every weekend, every Sunday around midday. We'll see if we need to move them a bit earlier or a bit later in the day, depending on people's time zones. So send us a direct message. Let us know what time zones you're keen on. We'll do a vote, a poll to see when we should schedule next week's one. Patrick and I are sitting here sweating quite a bit.
Yeah, October, you know, boiling. I feel like throwing myself into the river now. Suicide month.
There are too many crocs in the river, Pat. We can't go in the river. But yeah, so we invite you all to stay in touch and stay tuned for our Sunday Cheza chats. And look forward to hopefully seeing you guys out on safari in the not too distant future.
Yeah, hopefully things will get better by next year, and you know, really looking forward to meet up, you know, again with our friends and other guests as well, because we really love to see, you know, people coming from all corners of the world, and we love that so much. So we're really missing you, and we're missing you big time. So hopefully things get better next year and we get back together.
And do remember, Zambia is open for travel. It's become better and better at organizing your tests, COVID tests for departure if you're needing one. Ethiopian Airlines doesn't require it if your destination that you're traveling to doesn't require the test. So feel free to get in touch if you have any questions or queries about what the COVID protocols are for getting out here. But yeah, Zambia is open for travel, so come visit.
We're here. We're ready.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.